Today we got the world's greatest detective versus the master of illusions. Batman versus Mysterio. Who comes out on top? Let's find out. Bruce Wayne, who witnessed the murder of his billionaire parents as a child, swore to avenge their deaths. He trained extensively to achieve mental and physical perfection, mastering martial arts, detective skills, and criminal psychology. Costumed as a bat to prey on criminals' fears, using a high-tech arsenal, he became the legendary Batman. Though he doesn't possess any innate superhuman abilities, Batman is considered by many to be one of the most dangerous and powerful men in the world. Due to his intense training and regimen, Bruce has accomplished feats that many people will consider to be superhuman. He can bench press at least 1,000 pounds, move over 1 ton of his legs. He's an accomplished gymnast and acrobat, actually incredibly fast, both on his feet and in combat. Actually fast enough to dodge point-blank gunfire before, and has caught one of Green Arrow's arrows out of the air. Batman is said to have been trained in 127 different forms of martial arts, from our style of combat, mixture of judo, ninjutsu, taekwondo, jujitsu, boxing, karate, and dragon-style kung fu. However, he's known to change up his fighting style and remain unpredictable. He also knows every pressure point of the human body, numbness, dizziness, unconsciousness, and even temporary paralysis. Bruce is a master of stealth, having been able to vanish in plain sight before. In groups of superheroes, we've been unable to locate him. His accuracy is said to be on par with Green Arrow, and he's an excellent strategist, and always keeps multiple steps ahead of his opponents. The Batsuit is designed to be terror-resistant, bulletproof, and immune to temperature extremes, though it has shown some vulnerabilities to sharp objects like knives in the past. Batman has tons of different gadgets like magnets, sonic weapons, grapple guns, smoke bombs, tranquilizer darts, multiple different batarangs, miniature explosives, and incendiaries. So, that's what we got in one corner. The Dark Knight, the world's greatest detective, Batman. But, into the ring, in the corner, master of illusions, Mysterio. Mysterio is a formidable foe to Spider-Man, so much so that his arts of illusions were carried on by others after the original Mysterio's death. However, the original Mysterio, Quentin Beck, has returned, and he'll be the one we're using in this fight. Quentin Beck was an expert at designing special effects devices and stage illusions, as well as being a master hypnotist and magician, and a chemist. He's also a skilled hand-to-hand combatant thanks to being a stuntman, but none of this really helped him in his career industry. Thinking it'd be easier to become famous just by being a costumed criminal, Mysterio was born. Now, Mysterio's main threat is in the form of creating illusions, thanks to his great skill and extremely advanced technology. Throughout the years, he's tricked Spider-Man into thinking he was 6 inches tall, faked a giant storm over New York City, created multiples of himself, and has tricked Peter into believing he had killed people on multiple occasions. He's caused Spider-Man to go insane by making all these fake villains show up. He's faked the death of Aunt May, and he can easily whip up giant monsters. He does his hologram, so he's actually rarely where you think he is. And he's even able to trick Reed Richards, the smartest man in the entire Marvel Universe. He's also a master of mind control and hypnosis, as he's forced a bunch of heroes to fight each other, and even makes Spider-Man think that he's drowning in a pool, when in actuality, the pool was never even wet. He also got plenty of unique gear on him at all times, like spring-heeled boots, hologram lightning and fire projectors, a suit that enhances his strength, EMPs, radar sensors, various hallucinogenic gases, and tranquilizers strong enough to knock out Spider-Man and She-Hulk. Mysterio is even so great at illusions and trickery that he essentially learned how to teleport right in front of someone. So who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, this is a real interesting fight, since we got the world's greatest detective, Batman, coming to one corner. We got Mysterio in the other, master of illusions and trickery, someone who has routinely will trick Spider-Man and plenty of other heroes in the Marvel Universe. So who's coming out on top here? Well, that's what we're going to find out. Now, the interesting thing about this fight is that in no way is it going to be a physical fight. Batman will absolutely dominate, decimate, and destroy Mysterio if ever it came down to a hand-to-hand fight. Yeah, I guess you could argue the fact that Mysterio's suit enhances his strength. He can launch out smoke to make himself difficult to hit. He's got gas that can knock out She-Hulk, or has been able to battle against Spider-Man. But let's take this seriously. Batman has faced and overcome much worse than Mysterio in a hand-to-hand fight. So that means this entire fight, the whole video, hinges upon whether or not Mysterio can trick Batman with his illusions, or Bruce can see through them. So, first things first, just how powerful are Mysterio's tricks and illusions? Well, Mysterio's repeatedly been able to create holograms that are so realistic that people end up attacking the holograms thinking that they're attacking back. He's created holograms in order to fake his own death or vanish in mid-fight, and he's even managed to use holograms to trick people like Iron Man and Doctor Strange into thinking they were attacking Mysterio in the Sinister Six when they were really just fighting Stark's own bodyguards. He has routinely been able to screw with Spider-Man, just completely messing with his mind and sending him on a weird acid trip of different tricks and illusions. Really, the scene from Spider-Man Far From Home does it great justice, and Mysterio is able to mess with Spider-Man so hard like this consistently throughout their encounters, even though Peter is a genius, knows what Mysterio is capable of, and even has his spider sense to boot. He's even tricked Spider-Man into thinking that he was no more than 6 inches tall, and he's done it twice. He created an illusion that Dr. Octopus's super weapon destroyed an entire country, tricking Spider-Man into 2 super spies, Black Widow and Silver Sable. He's faked an entire alien invasion, now to fool Thor, Doctor Strange and his magic, Iron Man and his technology, with Wolverine and Daredevil with their enhanced super senses. He's even faked a god-honest invasion by Galactus, who was even somewhat capable of interacting with real-life objects. Mysterio has hid himself from Miss Sinister, a skilled and accomplished telepath, and he's hid himself in the Sinister Six from Doctor Strange's magic and telepathy. Although, to be fair on that last one, Mysterio mentioned that he could feel Strange working the edges of his illusion, and Strange wasn't even really trying, so if he wanted to, Mysterio's illusions wouldn't have held up long-term against Doctor Strange. Beck has even designed his illusion to be so complex and lifelike that he would make people look like, sound like, and even smell like the people he wants them to be. He even mentioned to trick Logan despite the extremely enhanced senses and even experience with illusions. Mysterio also has a whole lot of skill with hypnosis, regularly being able to trick and hypnotize Spider-Man, and actually plenty of other heroes in the Marvel Universe. So yeah, Mysterio is definitely not to be trifled with. But this is Batman we're talking about here. Batman. Now, for starters, regularly going up against Scarecrow really isn't going to help him out too much here. Yes, Scarecrow does operate in the realm of hallucinations and illusions, but they approach it very differently. Scarecrow's hallucinations all come from the fear gas, meaning that they're all mental. And plus, Batman knows that they're coming, is expecting them, and knows that they're not real. On the other hand, Mysterio's hallucinations and illusions are physical and based in the real world, and Batman won't actually know that they're there or what's real and what's not at the beginning of the fight, meaning he can use his detective skill in order to get through the illusion. So just how great of a detective is Batman? Well, the world's greatest. Now, for starters, Mysterio's hypnotism isn't going to work on Batman. Bruce's willpower is just too strong. Through pure willpower, he's able to not feel the cold. He's able to will a Sinestro ring off his finger and will himself out of the Mobius chair. He's routinely resisted psychic attacks, even psychic attacks powerful enough to effortlessly control whole groups of people. And when he's gone up against tech-based psychic attacks, well, he's resisted the Mad Hatter's mind control, held up to high-tech military mind control for 26 hours. He's even broken a psychic's mind before by hitting with all of his worst memories. Basically, hypnotism has no effect on him. However, I do think he'll be affected by Mysterio's hallucinogenic drugs and chemicals. Batman does expose himself to a plethora of different toxins in order to overcome them over time, but Mysterio manufactures all of his own drugs and toxins in-house, so there'll be things that Batman has never encountered before. However, Bruce has shown a remarkable ability to break through the effects of hallucinogens, even if he's never encountered them before, so I expect the same thing from him here. When it comes to seeing through Mysterio's illusions, well, Batman's actually got some pretty great senses of his own. He's able to hear bats pull their wings tighter around themselves whenever Superman approaches the cave. He can literally smell emotion, specifically fear, and knows that Scarecrow's nearby because he can smell his fear. He's able to tell that Riddler's hologram was a hologram because it lacked any sort of smell. He's He's able to see ghosts like Dead Man, is able to distinguish between an earthquake and the earth shaking due to magic, and is somehow even able to detect invisible opponents. However, Mysterio's illusions are enough to trick both Wolverine and Daredevil, who definitely have much better senses than Batman, and Mysterio's illusions are just better than the ones that Batman has gone up against in the past, seeing as how they actually do produce the smell of the person they're trying to mimic. But the thing about Batman is able to actually combine his willpower, his senses, just his deductive reasoning in order to be one unstoppable force. Just the way that his mind works, the way that he sees the world is so different than Daredevil's senses, or even Spider-Man's spider sense. He's able to see through Morgan Le Fay's illusions. And despite being exposed to hallucinogenic gas, and even his technology in the cow's computer being tricked, he was still able to deduce that he was hallucinating. He deduced that the world they're in was fake before even Wonder Woman and Superman did it. And Superman has extremely heightened senses, was able to quickly figure out that he was in a dream world, and he's instantly figured out on multiple occasions that he's encountered holograms. Batman has even realized that he's encountered subconscious manifestations before, which is just insanely impressive. Then Batman even has gear and tech to help him battle against Mysterio's illusions. For starters, the cowl has built-in psychic dampeners and defenses. So again, Mysterio's hypnotism isn't gonna work. But from there, well, Batman has got infrared vision, ultraviolet vision, X-ray vision. He can actually see in all spectrums of light. He can even see through echolocation using the sonic cannon mounted onto his chest. With all this, Batman could possibly just see through illusions by scanning through different fields of vision. I mean, he's used them to identify and fight against invisible opponents. He could quite possibly identify Mysterio's holograms too. On top of that, once Batman identifies that he's in a well-produced hallucination, like when we went up against Count Vertigo, well, he's able to use his cowl to block out his eyes and ears, fighting just solely using his echolocation. So, end of the day, who wins? Master of Illusions or the world's greatest detective? Well, I gotta go with Batman here. Yes, Mysterio is probably better at illusions than anyone Batman has gone up against before. He's repeatedly managed to trick Spider-Man, despite the fact that Spider-Man is a genius, Spider-Man has spider sense, and Peter even knows about Mysterio's powers. But like we said, Spider-Man just doesn't see the world the same way that Batman does. Bruce will be able to pick up on inconsistencies or small details that point to it not being real a whole lot faster than Spider-Man. And Mysterio goes into one of the more far-flung acid trip-like illusions, while Batman will instantly catch on and find a way to counter it. Plus, Spider-Man's regularly been able to find ways through the illusions throughout the years. And like we said, Batman's just much better at this than him. Mysterio might get him down for a little while, but Batman is ultimately going to see through it, find a way to counter it, and overcome it. Batman is just too smart, too intelligent, too good of a detective to be trapped for long, and ultimately be able to take Mysterio down. Batman is coming out on top here. Batman wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts. Sound off in the comments down below. Also, be sure the like button, the subscribe button, turn notifications from the DanCo army, and I will see y'all next time.